In today's video, we're diving into the wonderful world of spider plant propagation. So if you're ready to expand your spider plant family, you're in the right place. I'm going to show you 3 easy ways of propagating your spider plant. Don't miss out on the final part of the video to see which method yielded the best results for a plant. Start by selecting a healthy spider plant with mature leaves like this one. Carefully remove one of the plantlets, also known as spiderettes, from the mother plant. Method 1, water propagation. The first method of propagation involves water and is perfect for beginners and allows you to witness the growth process firsthand. For this, you will need a healthy spiderette or a spider baby plant, a clean glass jar filled with water. Here's an insider tip. Instead of regular water, I prefer to use a blend I like to call my special sauce, which combines Clonix Clone Solution and Root Zone. This unique mixture enhances root health and nourishes the plant. Place the spiderette in the glass or the jar, making sure its base is submerged. Keep the jar in a well-lit area away from direct sunlight, as excessive sunlight can damage the plant. Change this water or solution every few days, at least once a week, to prevent stagnation, allow new oxygen in there, and promote healthy growth. And after a few weeks, you will notice tiny roots emerging from the base of the spiderette. And once these roots are at least an inch or so long, you can transfer them from this position into the media that you want, whether it's leca or it's soil. If you're enjoying this video and finding it helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. Method number 2 requires the use of perlite. Perlite is a lightweight, porous volcanic material commonly used in gardening to improve soil aeration and drainage. It's an excellent medium for propagating your spider plants. So for this method, we're going to need a spiderette, a small container filled with a washed and moistened perlite. Washing your perlite before using it for propagation helps remove the dust, debris, and any other impurities that might be there. After washing your perlite with normal tap water, you can perform a final rinse with the special sauce that I mentioned earlier. And this ensures that the perlite is evenly coated with a solution, and that enhances root health and nourishes the plant. Place the spiderette into the container filled with the moistened perlite, burying the roots enough to stabilize the plant. Fill the container with the special sauce. Keep the container in a well-lit area, again avoiding direct sunlight that can scorch the leaves, and within a few weeks your spiderette will have roots growing and they'll be ready to transfer into the next medium. If you're finding this helpful, give this video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button to stay updated. Method number 3 is leca propagation. Leca, or lightweight expanded clay aggregate, is a soilless medium commonly used in hydroponics and as a substrate for plant propagation. We are going to need, again, some healthy spider plants, a container filled with leca pellets. So this leca has been soaking in my special sauce or a rooting solution for not less than 24 hours. Fill the pot a third of the way up with leca. Take the spiderette plant and put it right on top of the leca. You might have to fill your pot a little bit higher than a third if the plants are very, very small, and fill the rest of the pot up with leca. Place this plant in a bright, warm spot with the others, and in a few weeks, we will find out which method worked the best. I'll see you then. It's been 4 months since I started my spider plant experiment. Let's see how it's going. These are my 3 plants here still alive. Let's take a look at the plant living in perlite. This is the spiderette that I put in perlite. It's still alive. It's looking really good. This is the plant that I put in leca, also looking good. And this is the plant that I put in the Clonix Clone Solution or Special Sauce. Let's take a look at what those roots actually look like. Taking that out of the perlite, that looks really, really good. My roots are looking fantastic, and you can see that that plant has taken really, really well. This is the plant in Leca. Oh yeah. You can see those roots are coming, looking really lovely, and you can see the beginnings of those little tubers actually looking fantastic. And my spiderettes living in that Clonix Clone Solution. What's really interesting about these spiderettes is that the plant that was living in Leca actually seems to have more of those tubers starting to form more than any of the other plants. I wonder why that is. That's really, really interesting. I did not think that was going to happen. I had actually no idea. So that really makes me wonder whether putting it in the Leca actually encouraged the plant to get those tubers going more than it did in the other substrates. I don't know. But of course, I think the take-home message is you can propagate your spider plant in all these 3 ways and it's going to thrive regardless. So that's the one that was in my solution. Well, the thing I love about this one though is I think it's got the best looking leaves, whereas the one that's in Leca doesn't have as good leaves as the one that was in that solution. Maybe that's because it was spending all its energy building more of the tubers than it did creating more leaves. Possibly. The one that's living in the perlite seemed to have thicker roots than the one that was living in the Clonix Clone Solution, but it also had better looking leaves than the one that was living in the Leca. So I don't know, maybe it was a difference in the size of the spiderettes that I used to put in each of the medium. But so far, I think if I was wanting to propagate a spider plant, I'd probably put it in perlite, because using the perlite gave me the most bang for my buck. My leaves were looking really, really good, but those roots were looking absolutely fantastic as well. So what I'm going to do now with my plant is just get rid of any of those little dead or dying leaves. And because these plants are really ready to go, I'm going to pot all 3 of them up in one pot. I'm going to pot them up in Leca and get that plant going and see how it thrives. And look, to be honest with you, I think at this point I've probably got about 3 spider plants. I really don't need any more. So I might do a giveaway with this one. What do you think? Is anyone interested in having a spider plant from my home? Let me know in the comments below. Righty-ho, so I grab my Leca, fill up my pot. And for this one, I'm going to fill that pot up a little bit more than the usual 1/3 of the way, because if I put it a 1/3 of the way, my plant's really going to be right at the bottom. I don't want that. So I'm going to fill it up. I'm filling it up actually quite a lot. I probably could have used a smaller pot than this one. I didn't have a smaller pot, but it's not really a problem when you're growing plants in semi-hydro. Size of pot is not as much of a big deal as it is when you're growing your plants in soil, because we're not risking root rot from overwatering here. We just don't have that problem. So I'm going to put my plants there. And I know, because this is a spider plant, it is going to fill out that pot with roots in no time. That's my spider plant all potted up. I'm going to put this in a reservoir with my special sauce, which is Clonix Clone Solution, and root zone probably for the next month or so. And then after that, I'm going to switch it over to Foliage Focus. And of course, putting it in a bright, warm spot and watching it thrive. Watch this next video where I show you how you can keep your spider plant from getting those dreaded brown tips. I'll see you there.